Do you think I can start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's great. That's most of you heard about the locker, so all of you. So today I would like to share some projects and our experience and initiatives with making a social impact with Toloka. So you already know that Toloka is a good tool and instrument for making AI solutions and driving data labeling and data gathering. But it's not only about this, it's also a lot about people, since Toloka is basically a human-centered platform. And Toloka is the heart of Toloka is the decentralized crowds of many performers all around the world. So this is why Toloka is a lot about people. And if we look at the variety of use cases, right? Thanks for all the colleagues that's been showing presentations before me. I think it's great examples of different use cases, what Toloka can do for a business. But when it comes to ethical stuff, crowdsourcing also can have a vast positive social impact, from helping lower income areas, from monitoring ecological situation, to even searching for missing people and saving people's lives. So let's have a look at one of the cases, which is making a difference in environmental protection. So probably some of you know that on Toloka we have some kind of special crowdsourcing tasks, which are also called pedestrian tasks, where performers can go to real places offline, taking pictures, gathering some informations, and usually it's some information about the business opening hours, maybe some pictures of entrances to the buildings. And this is how we collect our data for maps for in Yandex and in some other big corporations to have more precise information on maps. But it's not all about this. And we can apply this tool to monitor ecological situation in some physical locations, right? Let's have a look at this case study that one of our partners did on Toloka, which is specifically monitoring cities' waste disposal. So probably all of you once in a while stumbled against an overflow rubbish basket or dumpster on the street, and it's not very pleasant experience, right? But this is just a tiny piece of it. And humans actually make tons of waste, especially in big cities, and trash generation is growing rapidly. But thanks to a lot of initiatives, we are starting to consider this problem serious. But the problem is how to control all the trash and how to monitor so many trash containers and in so many cities and population centers. So in Toloka, we approached this issue with monitoring this by pedestrian Tolokas. So as you can see on the screenshots, we placed some specific pedestrian tasks on the map, and whenever Toloka has such kind of task around him, he could approach this and take some photos of a garbage collection sites, identifying if there's overflow, if there's a dirt around, or maybe the area is not paved or garbage collection schedule is absent. So thus providing us specific information which we could use after this to improve, to make garbage collection sites better and to improve ecological conditions in population centers. So this is how it looked like in the interface. Toloka would approach a real place in the real world, and we would control it using GPS, and to prove that he is at the location, and to provide us with information about the rubbish site, he would take a couple of photos of that rubbish site, answering several questions such as, is there a roof? Is it clean? Is there any information about the operator of this garbage collection place? And since June 2020, we covered 2,500 Russian population centers with 281K tasks collected. And it costed us just 8 cents per trash container, which is, I think, pretty great price. And it wasn't just a one-time thing, it's rather was a monthly thing. So we've been collecting from 5 to 15K samples on a regular basis. And the main thing is, it wasn't just data collection and thrown out there in the world and the internet, showing people how their cities are dirty, but it was about giving a signal to local authorities, and all the information about the trash collection sites were sent to government authorities on the sites so they could take appropriate actions and adjust the work of organizations that operated those trash containers, which is pretty great, I think. This was about ecological impact, but what about social projects? Because sometimes, well, we have this large crowds on Toloka, and decomposing one large task, we could make an impact to the whole society, to the whole humanity sometimes. And thanks to crowdsourcing, this can be done faster, because most of the social organizations, they're non-profit, they're not well well funded, so we could save them money and we can save them funds and time, because sometimes time is what matters when it comes to saving people's lives. And I'm going to show you one simple case from Lisa Alert. This is a non-profit, non-commercial organization who's centralizing efforts of many volunteers in Russia for searching missing people who gone missing in both urban areas and wilderness. So I hope you all familiar with the context that hundreds of people, thousands of people go missing every day worldwide. And the main problem is, it's much easier to find a person in the big city, because you can ask other people, you can yeah, there's a plenty of sources of information, but when people gone missing in the wild nature, it's getting complicated. And Lisa Alerts, what they do, they actually use drones to take photos of places of potential human dislocation, so they can make tests on hypotheses if the human if the people who gone missing, they're present in specific places, and then they can send a secure and search and secure team on the specific place. So the problem is okay, you've collected all those photos from drones, from drones, and then you need to process it. So there's like thousands and hundreds of photos, and Lisa Alert team is actually limited. There's of course there's dozens and hundreds of volunteers, but actually to process that many information, it takes time. But every minute counts when it comes to saving people's lives. So how we approach this task on Toloka, we asked our Tolokers online to look at aerial images photographed from drones, by drones, and they marked images where they see people. So experts then, when we got the signal from Tolokers, and when we get several opinions from several Tolokers that actually on this specific photo there's a person, and it's worth to send the team to look for that person there, we would immediately send that signal to experts from Lisa Alert, and they would send the search and rescue team to the location. So I'm going to pose you a question about this photo. Can you see any person on this photo? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds here. Well, maybe it's pretty obvious, but still, when it is a routine task and you look at thousands of photos every day, it's not that easy and you get tired. So do volunteers from Lisa Alert. And actually, there's a person on this photo, and this is what was the job of the lockers and how they helped Lisa Alert team here to do this routine task, to distribute it across the whole crowd so that we can do it much faster. And we did it regularly for the several months this year, making 25K photos labeled monthly. And it costed us just 1 cent per photo, which is, I think this is pretty great, and this is very cheap. And for non-commercial, well, I can't stress it more. For non-commercial, not non-profit organization, it's a huge like cost savings. And it took just minutes to label 1.5K folders. So like giant speed, tremendous, amazing speeds. So every minute counts here. So just in several minutes, you could process all the photos taken from the drones and send search a rescue team to a specific location. So I hope those use cases were interesting for you and they can inspire you to think of any other social projects that could be done with Toloka or automated with Toloka, and the social impact and human well-being could be made better, and all this process could be accelerated with our platform, which is a, I think, huge step here for all the social projects. Thank you.